Well, this is a session for emerging models of real estate transaction services. And this is brought to you by Peninsula Land Limited. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Shashi Tripathi, Head New Business Sales, Google India Digital Marketing. Please put your hands together for him as he comes on stage here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Can I have the hand mic? That's possible. Sorry about that. I usually like to walk around when I'm talking. It's Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shashi Tripathi. I'm a sales guy, like most of you, right? But I represent a great company, Google. All of you basically are aware of it, hopefully. Yeah? You know about Google? Okay. All right. Well, we get to brag a lot, right? Google is not made, Google or whatever Google is because of its great engineers, great engineering products that they have built. And we in sales get to brag about it. So that's the best part of the job. We do big things. Google does big things. We want to, aggregate the world's information. We want to increase people's lifespans, make driverless cars. But there's a huge debate in Google going on at this point in time. And I want basically all of you to participate if you want to, whether Google is a man or a woman, right? So people may have different opinions about it, but what do you think? She has all the answers. The most important part of it is, even before you speak, right, she's able to complete a sentence. But more importantly, why Google is a woman, because for all of you and people who have known it, this is a company which has given wings to smallest to the largest of businesses. You can reach people, you can reach out there, talk to anybody. So I'm glad to be in your midst. After the news that Raghuram Rajan broke, and I'm sure everybody is cheering for it, we also are hooting for it. You guys are happy about it, right? I'll take just 5-7 minutes to talk a few things. All of you may be aware about it, but let's look at it, right? The business of internet, that's what we are in, and hopefully all of you might be aware, going through what is happening, some bits and pieces of it, what I want to talk about it, right? In 2010, India had about 100 million internet users. 100 million means 10 crores. From 2010 till 2015, the number is now standing at about 350 million internet users. Every month in India, 5 million to 6 million internet users get added. Now I want to ask you folks, and I'm sure all of you are from the fraternity, all of you talk about it, why did this number triple down in the last 4 years? What was the reason? Smartphones. Okay, smartphones came into being, the price barrier and things broke. But there was one more reason. Smartphones can't only be the reason for it. What else? Yeah? Android phones. It's still smartphone, right? The price barrier. So from an iOS, which was 40,000, 50,000, you could come to 5,000, 6,000. But then, yes, go ahead. People like to work out of their house. Okay, fine. Anything else? Internet connectivity. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. You raised your hand there. Networking. Okay. Anybody else? Young generation. Knowledge. Okay. I think more of you are skirting around this. But the very simple fact, guys, the price point broke and a 30,000 device became a 5,000 device. That became the parallel part of it, the core. But most importantly, what changed was everybody, literate, unliterate, semi-literate, it was not about that you need only English language as a content. Everybody could find something of useful worth on the internet. People who can't read and write can still watch a video. Right? People who can read and write can go and research. People who want to do PhDs can go deep dive and do research. Everybody across the strata of society The device became accessible, but content became accessible. You did not need only English websites. People started uploading videos, uploading data, whatever you might be the case that you want, but content became available across diaspora of everything, and that's what caused the whole advent of things. So devices became cheap, and everybody had something out there. A taxi driver to a CEO of India and any company in India, everybody has something that it offers. Intuitiveness, where the technology moved, right? From where it started off, people used to only read. Now, somebody is not educated enough. If you open up an app, he knows the icons, he knows what to do, he's able to do transact and do things across on it. So those two things propel things across where it is moving, right? From where it is. Short of a nuclear war between India, Pakistan, or India or China, our belief is we will be 500 million internet users in 2 years of time. That's huge. That's humongous amount of numbers that we're talking about. And 65% of those folks are accessing the web only through their mobiles. Right? So if we have to look at things, first of all, the reach of internet is big, it is growing, it will double, quadruple, but it is growing on your mobile web phones. If we had to jump off, right, and if there was ever a strategy that you did not have a website, you can just move to an M site for that matter. So mobile site can become one place of how things moving ahead in this points in time. So that's the other piece, right? Large, growing on mobile. All of you, how many people here have bought things on the web? Everybody? I don't see, okay. Everybody has bought something. Did you actually believe that you could buy dhania online 2 years back? How many of you knew that? Ki dhania kharid sakte hain. Right? Nobody imagined that, right? We all thought, because let's look at commerce as a story. When money starts flowing on a medium, it becomes a validation of that medium, and that medium is going to stay. Ease of access, moving along, visibility, everything across moves, right? Transparency. Nobody is around there to do what is required. Do at your own will, own demand, at your own time. That's what this whole web is all about, right? So when commerce, coming to the commerce, which is a validation of this medium at the base that it is growing, I'm sure the numbers would be very, very large, but just product commerce in this country, right? Which started from books to electronics. Nobody thought you could sell shoes, you could sell clothes. Nobody thought you could sell sachets, FMCG products. Nobody thought you could sell groceries. How many of you really thought you could sell houses online? Right? All of that has become reality in the last 4 or 5 years. It's primarily because users are out there, they are asking questions, and there are people who are answering those questions. Right? $8 billion worth of product commerce is going to happen in this country in this year, which will only keep on multiplying. Out of 350 million users, only 30 million people are transacting, 30 to 40 million people. Just imagine when this number changes to about 50 million, 60 million, 100 million. The amount of commerce, the amount of money flowing on this medium is going to be humongous. Right? The web is here to stay. It is here to stay on the mobile. It is here to stay across from whichever perspective it is happening, and there's money flowing on it. The last piece of the bit, right, which I want to enforce upon is disruptions. Many business models which existed 20 years back have become freaking redundant today. Take multiple industries across the board, right? People who bought music on cassettes and DVDs, today it's being sold at a bit rate and you can download songs. How many of you ever thought that you could call a taxi at your doorstep and people will come and pick you up from point A to point B, right? People are selling cements online. I never thought somebody would buy a cement bag, but they are doing that, right? So the point which I'm trying to make is lots of business models, aggregation, things which are happening, which were true 10 years, 12 years down the line, have been disrupted by it. And the simple reason is it democratizes the business model of how things move ahead. So embrace it. It's large, it's big, it's mobile, it's money, and it's where disruption is headed. So I'll stop there. I was told 5 minutes. I think I might have taken a little more, but thank you about that.
Hello. Rishabh Gupta, CEO of Housing.com.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rishabh. I manage Housing.com as the chief executive. And I'm also the operating officer. We've been around for about 3 years. And the way we see things moving forward, and very, very rightly put by Mr. Tripathi, was the fact that what internet has done to our lives and what smartphone has done to our lives over the last 7 to 10 years is probably the biggest technological impact since electricity. In simple words, internet is the next electricity. The sooner we realize it, the better it is for us. No one could have imagined that we would be swiping our cards for a 70,000 smartphone on an e-commerce site 6 years before. Nobody could have imagined that. Today, it's a reality. However, how does that affect us? How does that affect our industry, the real estate industry? Real estate industry contributes to about 4% of GDP. Last year, $80 billion worth of real estate transactions happened in India. The world is on the internet. The importance of smartphone is already out there. The way it impacts real estate is predominantly on the lines of what internet as a medium can do to our consumers. Real estate is a high engagement purchase. It is high engagement at all levels. So it is not as easy as picking up a smartphone, and picking up a smartphone is not the same as buying a house. And we understand that. What is the big difference? What do you think is the big difference when it comes to buying a smartphone versus buying a house? You guys are the best at telling me this. I would absolutely love to hear it from you. Yes, it is the biggest decision of somebody's life. Exactly. Something more than that also is very critical in this industry, is the closure of a... Yes, please. Sorry? Yes. The product is not standardized. That's the point that the gentleman there is making. And one big thing that we need to understand in this industry is, यार कोई चाहिए होता है जो कंधे में हाथ रख के बोले भाई ले ले, खरीद लो यार, it's worth it. That is one of the biggest parameters when it comes to, that is the subjectivity of this industry. How does the online medium help us? It helps us in understanding and qualifying the consumers with the right intent. We have all the agents sitting here. सबसे बड़ा time waste कब होता है किसी भी agent का? Your resource is you yourself and your skills. What is the biggest time waste when it comes to the agent business in the country? Anyone? Okay, yes, WhatsApp. Sourcing information. Something else? Unqualified buyers and sellers. There are consumers who are reaching you guys without evaluating enough. That is the role of an internet platform in this age. The role of an internet platform enabling real estate is to ensure that the consumers which reach you are the ones who have had done their degree of research. That is one of the biggest attributes that an online platform empowering real estate should have. So what is most important? The display of data, the display of information to the consumer in a format they are comfortable with, so that they can work and understand these things before they come and speak to you or the developer, anyone. That is the role of internet platforms working in the real estate segment today. Qualification of buyers is the challenge, and we at Housing are trying to solve that challenge. We are solving it through providing information to the consumer at the set-go, saying that, this is what it is. It doesn't need, the consumer doesn't need more than that to shortlist. They should come to you with 4 or 5 properties in their minds. That is what the aim of most platforms in India should be. It is not for a lot of cases, and that creates the impact. At the end of it, all I want to say is, internet is here. It's here big time. The sooner we realize it, the better it is for us. And instead of rejecting the platform, saying that it may or may not work for us, it may or may not work for our industry, why not embrace it and work with it? It should be a complementary source for your business rather than a competitive one. I keep hearing this a lot, that, why are you going to eat our business? No, that is not our role. Our role in the ecosystem is to play an information aggregator. That is the role Housing plays when it comes to the online real estate ecosystem. Data and transparency is the need of the hour. Consumers want that. It's best if we start providing them. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd now like to begin this session, the moderation. And for that, I'd like to invite, once again, Shashi Tripathi. Please join us on stage here for this session. Rishabh Gupta, please join us back on stage. A moderator for this session, we have Ashwinder Raj Singh, CEO, Residential Services, JLL moderator. Please join us here. I would also like to invite Mr. Ramesh Sharma, Director, Coldwell Banker. Can we applaud for all our dignitaries coming on stage, ladies and gentlemen? And also Mr. Sahil Shah, co-founder, Square Yards. So please join us here. And well, yes, Vipul Shah, Director, Reflex Realty and Financial Consultants Private Limited. Please join us here. Please applaud for all our dignitaries here. And over to you, Ashwinder Raj.
I think this is not working. Can you ask? Hello? Am I audible? Good afternoon, everyone. Shashi, Rishabh, it was an interesting start to our conversation. We have a great gathering. I think most of them have had lunch, so let us try and make it a little interesting. Emerging models of real estate transactions. So, we've been talking a lot about internet, but I think real estate business, as most of us agree, can never be totally internet. And on the other side, none of us can really ignore internet if we want to grow. So that's what I was able to understand from our two esteemed panelists. We also have Mr. Ramesh Sharma, Director, Coldwell Bankers. We have Sahil from Square Yards, and we have Mr. Vipul Shah, Vice President Smart, and Director Reflex Reality with us. So welcome all of you, and thank you all of you for giving us this opportunity. I will start with you, Shashi. You know, real estate marketing has come a long way, right? I have been in real estate broking now for 2 to 3 years. What we see is around 70 to 80% of the customers, before buying real estate, go on the net and search about it. So obviously, this cannot be ignored, right? From a realtor's perspective, digital media is also pretty cost effective because you can actually find out what are the returns on investment. Unlike any other form of advertising, whether it is print or an affiliate marketing. So what is your message to our realtor community, to the advisors on adopting this as a medium is my first question.
Okay. I think somebody raised it, right, that this is basically the decision of a lifetime or the biggest decision that you take. And it's a long-term process. Just map your customer's journey through, if the cycle is 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, it would depend upon multiple facets of it. How does a person go about today, right? So when he starts off, as you rightly mentioned, there is this whole phenomena of research online, purchase offline, which might be very relevant for your real estate industry. People first start dabbling about. Earlier, they used to ask others what is happening. Today, they can just fire off a query, try to figure out what is happening. But a research process starts. So if somebody is searching, somebody is researching, there are some people who are out there answering those questions and some may not be. So at one point in time, wherever within your fraternity, if somebody is reaching out, make sure that is one place that you're talking about. The second part of it piece is when somebody lands up on your destination which you have created. Everybody nowadays creates websites, they have properties, what they're trying. What information and what at hand are you providing there? And is it on the go story, right? Is it mobile enabled? It is website enabled? So that's the other piece. The information that a customer is actually trying to look for or vouch for is contact information, past projects, updates, history of somebody. So you got to keep certain things of these kinds updated. The third part, internet allows you to remarket to people who have engaged you anywhere on the web, right? So prepare and curate a list of people who have ever interacted with your brand or your customer or your property which you're trying to position, and reach out to them. And each time that you talk to them, it can't be the same message, this is the property. The message has to be customized because you're talking to them obtain number of times. Last time, the first time that he interacted with you, you showed him a property. The next time he's interacting, give him an offer. Third time he's interacting, what else can you talk about? So if you engage with the customer throughout the journey of his decision making, that's how things will move forward on the web. It will not be one-time interaction, one click leading to a page and somebody fills a form and that happens. No, he'll not do that. He'll do that upteen number of times. Be there throughout the journey of his decision making.
Great. Just taking up from where you left, Rishabh. Now, all of us agree that, the search starts from the net. My question is, which most of our friends sitting here also would have, is that how do we leverage this medium and take it to the next level of fulfillment? Now, what I mean is, when is it, do you think a point going to come जब कंधे पर हाथ नहीं रखना पड़ेगा and you can actually go on the net, search and maybe get that confidence of not swiping 70,000 but 7 lakhs and book an apartment?
Right. So we understand the power of internet. That is rightly there. The search process right now starts from the internet, and what users are technically looking for is a place to research. Buying is a 6 to 8 month long process for any home buyer in the country. The amount of research they do is phenomenal. it is high engagement, it requires that amount of focused effort from the consumer. That being said, real estate is not a standard product. It is not a standard product. There are only 200 different kinds of mobile phones in the market. However, when it comes to new projects or new homes in the country, there are probably more than 10,000 kinds of them, and each one of them is individually different. The internet can play a big role in qualifying these consumers by providing them the right information and making them understand what do they actually want. Because most of these buyers, they don't, since it's the biggest purchase, right? They don't really know what is the apartment that they're actually looking for. That being said, it is important that we provide this information and accurately. Another reason for grievances when it comes to our consumers has always been, I did not get what I saw. And that cannot be a buyer's remorse. And that just is not working for the industry as a whole. We should provide the right information. It should be present at platforms, online platforms, which are aggregating demand, including housing. We should be doing that. And we should be providing all that information. When it comes to saying कि कंधे पे हाथ नहीं रखना पड़ेगा, I think we are a good at least 5 to 7 years away from there. Because that not just requires changes in the way we function, but also changes from regulatory bodies, government, because there are two parts to the transaction. There is the discovery part, and then there is the physical process that needs to get done. To swipe for 7 lakh rupees on a platform is not something that creates a big deterrent. It is not about 70,000 and 7 lakh. It is more about where do I trust. And at this point, we are, I think, crippled with lack of trust. That is the biggest problem when it comes to swiping of cards.
Thank you. Coming to you, Mr. Sharma, now we are moving away from internet, and you represent Coldwell in India, and your model is a B2B model where you are reaching out to the customers through business associates and franchisees. And as I also understand, Coldwell has plans of gaining a significant market share, maybe 5 to 7% in the next 3 to 5 years. So how does your business model operate, and how do you think it will evolve in the next 2 to 3 years?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Very good question put up by him. But as I was walking up the dais, I just read something behind "Be the Change." So that's what is required now, be the change. If we do not go with the change, and if we think our main orthodox fashion in which we are thinking, we will not be able to do what we want to really do with the platforms which are available, as mentioned by Rishabh and as mentioned by Mr. Tripathi. However, today morning also, you all must have read the Economic Times. There was a news about Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani joining hands for the 4G technology. With this 4G technology, what I want to bring to your knowledge is, when 2G came, 3G came, and when mobile was introduced into India, India was treated as one of the most underdeveloped internet usage wise. But when 4G technology has come, believe me, India has become at par with all other countries because this technology is absolutely new. Half of us must be thinking 2G, 3G, and it is just a migration onto 4G. But 4G is a total different technology. Similarly, if we adopt new practices, new methodologies, depend more on the online, our way of working in the real estate industry is bound to change. Keeping that in mind, when we went to hunt out what is the model that should we bring to India, where our real estate things will change, we were foreseeing that the market would not be as it is. The developers were facing a difficulty in demand. Then we came across this franchising model by which we thought, as 4G has transformed the whole thing for India, if a new technology is brought in a franchising model right to the doorstep of each and every realtor sitting here, and on the other side our consumer, it would give them the same benefit of online. Now, both the gentlemen have said information is available, 6 months, 7 months would be taken time to remove that kandhe pe se haath. But if our other tools of technology, training is there, now you see franchising denotes what? It only means standardization, assurance of quality, and branding endorsement, which involves technology and training. So technology is given. We might get the customers from Tripathi sir's help. We might get a lot of consumers from housing, but where does the fulfillment come from? So to capture all this, you need to have a platform where you can have a big network. Now all these people sitting here are smart network. You all may be semi-organized, but if you all become highly organized and highly updated with your network across the globe, you are bound to increase your business, and that's where your share will go, and share in the market will increase. But if you think restrictively, ki, oh, no, we are very happy in our territory, we need not go into other geographies. As business has been, whenever there are ups and downs in the business, people have to change their geographies. So the best way of going into different geography is through technology. If we start traveling to each and every destination, maybe we will not be able to do as many deals we are doing today. But if technology is used, the customers can be found out, and by virtue of which your prospects of doing more business will definitely go up. So our franchising model is creating a sector of professional advisors across, firstly in Mumbai, now we are spreading all across India. So these sector of people at one shot of a launch by any developer can reach to 500,000 agents of ours who can again in their multiples can reach to as many people as you want at one shot of a WhatsApp or a mail. So that is what is the power of a network. So if we create a network, we are bound to be more and more successful in that case.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Sahil, what we have seen is around 8 to 10% sales today in the Indian real estate industry, residential especially, happens from overseas markets. And I have also seen that there are a lot of realtors who face challenge to kind of penetrate and launch their businesses in the overseas markets to attract NRIs. So what do you want to share with all our friends sitting in this room as to what are the good practices that they can also learn from to become far more effective and acquire NRI clients?
So I think when we started with the mindset that we would ideally want to have post-sales transaction services. So today for a set of 4,000 odd clients that we have served in the last 2 years, we have a team of 40 relationship managers who actually are servicing these clients remotely in terms of answering all their queries on a day-to-day basis for their under construction properties. Another important aspect is having a face to the person who is actually doing the sale and a permanent office over there. So a lot of what trust factors remotely, sitting remotely and buying something in India, it's a remote transaction. So the trust factors are even lesser. So unless and until that person sitting over there, kandhe pe haath rakh ke jab tak nahi bolta hai ki, okay, go ahead and buy this property, that's where the confidence level increases. So for us, the numbers have been actually far better. We actually do about 30% of our transactions from international markets. And over there, just a small thing, top developers or branded developers, good quality developers who have good quality timelines and deliveries, they are doing actually far better than grade B developers who probably have not branded themselves equally well in international markets. Plus developers also, a lot of developers come there for maybe 3 days, 5 days, maybe in exhibitions, but they all come back. So as long as they are coming back, that phase to the entire process gets eliminated after that 5-day process. And that's where clients again have that gap in terms of they want someone to be there to facilitate the whole transaction and be there for the post-transaction servicing. So I think our learning has been that be near to the client, and that's what is helping us. So we are in 6 odd countries, that's helping us.
Great. So coming to you, Mr. Vipul, what it is coming out is that it is not about competition. It is about collaboration. It is about complementing each other. It is about partnering with each other. As Mr. Sharma also said, that you have to use technology, but you also need a distribution. So you as a realtor, how do you think you can utilize all these channels of distribution and become far more effective going forward?
Thank you, Ashwinder. First of all, let me tell you very emphatically, nobody can replace the role of a realtor. With the kind of values which we can give to our customer, a customized service which we can provide to him, the understanding not only from mind but through heart, I think by role of realtor will never be replaced. But at the same time, because of coming of so much technology and changes, I think it's best time to get married of a traditional values with the new technology. If we get a marriage of a traditional values with the new technology platform which is coming up, I think everybody in sitting there would be very, very successful realtor. And taking this transition into place, I think I'm the second generation realtor. We started this business almost like 45 years back when my father was a person who actually started one of the pioneers of taking a mandate 45 years back. We are hearing the word mandate few years back, but I think he's taken mandate 45 years back. So I think it's out-of-box thinking. Whenever you are working in the industry, I think it's, if your conscience is clear, if you are functioning with the interests of the customer in mind, I think nobody can take your business away. And taking all these models into place, actually you'll have to figure out what your customer requires and take help of the technology based on that, rather than just adopting the technology. You focus on customer rather than just on the technology. You take technology to help your customer getting the solution. I think there are so many platforms coming up, so many, I think it's just a start of new revolution of technology coming across. But as a realtor, I think the focus line should be customer and what value he can provide to that customer. So I think if each one of us are focused on that, nobody can take business from anybody. Customer wants somebody to support. A customer wants somebody to trust them. And I think coming of this new age, especially the smarties, lots of them have become technology savvy, and lots of realtor out here have been gearing up to technology. And I think the transition is very, very sure, very, very clear that combination of both these things would definitely help us out getting to that next level. And I think thinking out of the box would also help us out tremendously. As you said, Ashwinder, rightly, collaboration is the way forward. We have to collaborate with the realtor. We have to collaborate with the developers. In fact, I had a very radical idea of taking a mandate at an association level from the developer. If that thing can be worked out, I think that would make a huge change in the way industry is thinking. If an association can take a mandate from a developer, that can be a new model. So this kind of different models would emerge. And you just have to keep your eyes, ears, and mind open to adapt to that kind of thinking. I really thank each one and every one of you for actually giving us this opportunity of hospitalizing and taking long initiative, traveling all the way from different parts of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So I think the message is very clear. The emerging trends are going to keep on emerging. We are going to see a lot of evolution happening, but it is not just going to be, a one channel driven approach. It is going to be a multi-distribution approach where all the vectors like technology, franchisee, direct sales, NRI sales are going to play their part. Just a quick one for all of you, starting with Shashi. Shashi, what is Google Or is Google planning to do something new which is going to help the realtors in enhancing their business, coming up with some new products or some sales efficiency tools in the annual?
So I don't think we have an industry-specific products that we are talking about at this point in time, but I think eventually some of the products which Google or rather the acquisition products of smart homes and solutions which are up on the anvil, that might be for a development side of it. But Google's idea has always been to take consumers to whosoever is looking at them. So whether it is maps, whether it is search, whether it is display, video, whatever might be the case, the whole idea is how can we link a consumer to whosoever they want to talk to. So if you wish to talk to your consumer as a realtor, you wish to talk to your consumer as a developer, that's our endeavor. Making sure that that communication channel happens and you're found out. On the technology side, we are working on content, we are working on access, we are working on platforms. So Android is our platform. I'm sure the latest one which Modi was just out in the US about the RailTel contract that we're talking about in the access piece. Indic languages, all our products not only will be enabled in English but Hindi and Tamil and Telugu, Bengali. So those are our efforts of what we're trying to do on the product side. But nothing specific as a vertical. What we focus and what we want to drive across is an amalgamation of these products, whatever solution you want to build a property at an association level, at a realtor level, you want to build a marquee property which becomes a hub for all your business transactions. Be our guest, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to assist in that particular way.
So Rishabh, just, one or two lines on concluding this session.
I think the best way to move forward is, I think someone rightly said, it is about collaboration. It is about working together. It is about realizing the strengths of each and every channel that each of us work in. Working together will improve this industry. Technology is here. It is here. And it is not just about the platform, the way we say. It should also become a part of our lives. WhatsApp has changed how communication happened. Android changed how apps happened. Similarly, we need to understand that embracing technology does not mean that you just start using a platform. It is a mindset change. It needs to come from within. And working together and using technology for improving efficiencies would help the entire ecosystem.
Mr. Sharma, how would you like to conclude the session?
As Mr. Vipul said, we should all aggregate and take a mandate of a SMART. Accordingly, all these members sitting here in little bit detailed survey what we have done. We know that each of them spent close to 8 to 10% on marketing today. So if all the strength is pulled up with one body, whichever body it may be, let it be Coldwell, let it be JLL, let it be housing, let it be Google. So if we all collaborate together and come out with that spend, I'm telling you the volumes of business will go multi-fold, whatever you're thinking. And in that 8% of your spend, what you're achieving, if it is all merged and made in one pool, your achievement will be much, much high. Therefore, we must think about all these things because I just forgot to mention one point earlier. When we went to USA for discussion, I was told India is close to 20 years behind what they are today in terms of an organized real estate market. But with all these new emerging techniques, as 4G has just taken over, I still feel we will be able to bridge that gap within 3 to 5 years. But we need to have a very collaborative attitude. We cannot think singly. The business is very, very high. We only think in our territory and think, my business will be gone if I share it on this portal or I put it on that portal. Time is coming where you are going to get more and more organized, and consumer is looking at that. Today, average Indian age is close to around 29 years, and online and social media platforms are becoming very, very savvy with them. Going forward in next 2 years or 3 years, they would be more detailed on working on this, and I'm sure, I do not know, Mr. Tripathi will say what it is. Google penetration, in my view, should increase between 55 to 60% in the next 2 years. That's my view. 80? Wow, he says 80, so I take my words back. We'll be 110% after 2 years. Thanks.
Sahil, please, your concluding comments, just a line, so I think we're running a little.
I would say multimodal distribution or omni-channel distribution is the future. For us, we have had our direct sales teams in India, in NRI markets. The e-commerce platform that we are using, it started contributing about 10% of our transactions, and definitely a broker-to-broker channel that we have created. So the entire Square Connect app that we have created, it's already contributing about 10% of our transactions. So in the future, what we see is that collaborative platform that we are creating through Square Connect would eventually be the biggest market share in terms of creating transactions for us, eventually is what we see.
So I agree with Mr. Shah. I think I have been a veteran in the industry. I haven't seen such a large gathering of realtors, so a big round of applause to all of you. It really, motivates all of us. Great work done by Smart. Thanks for inviting us. Sir, your concluding comments, and then we wrap it up.
I think it's been our real pleasure and privilege to have so many people coming together as a family. I think we started as individual, but we now become family. So I think if, as a family, together we can make it. I think technology should be taken positively, and it should never be taken as a challenge. But I think it should be a tool which can be utilized effectively to change the way we think and way we function, to give a better value to our customers' requirements and customer need. I think it's all about customized solution we should focus on rather than becoming more generalized. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The entire Smart team really thanks each one and every one of you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Request you to please stay back for the token of appreciation. Requesting Vijay Singh to please join me on stage to please present a token of appreciation to Mr. Sahil Shah. Requesting Talat Sahay to please come on stage and present a token of appreciation to Mr. Ramesh Sharma. Requesting Amar Jadhav to please present a token of appreciation to Mr. Rishabh Gupta. Requesting Mukesh Navani ji to please present a token of appreciation to Mr. Shashi Tripathi. And I'd like to invite Mr. Chetan Raichura and Jai Shah to please present a token of appreciation to our moderator, Mr. Ashwinder Raj Singh. Thank you so much, gentlemen. एक बार और इनके लिए जोरदार तालियां हो जाए दोस्तों.